If you've been watching the news or scrolling social media lately, you've seen it. Every second headline seems to be predicting a property crash. Prices are falling, investors are leaving, the market is slowing. Now, are there challenges in today's market? Absolutely. But property markets aren't driven by numbers alone. They're driven by people, and people are driven by confidence.
That's why headlines can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Buyers hold off, sellers hesitate, investors sit on the sidelines. And before long, those behaviours start influencing the market itself. Not because the headlines created the market, but because they influenced the decisions people made.
So instead of adding more headlines, let's just quickly take a look at what's happening here in our neighbourhoods. So in postcode 3977, there were 65 reported sales for June, with a median house price of $800,000.
And in postcode 3910, there were 19 reported sales with a median house price of $900,000. The market is still moving, people are still buying and selling. It's just happening a little differently to 6 to 12 months ago.
For sure. Now, one statistic that caught our attention this month was Melbourne's overall home values easing by 2.6 through June. Now, whether this continues or stabilises, nobody knows for certain. What we do know is that we're operating in a changing market where interest rates, government policy and buyer confidence are all influencing decisions.
So what does that mean for you? If you're thinking about selling, don't expect today's market to behave like the market 6 months ago.
We only wish. Homes are still selling because life keeps moving. Families grow, people change jobs, couples unfortunately separate, and first home buyers continue to enter the market. What's changed isn't the need to move, it's how carefully buyers are making their decisions.
Buyers are inspecting more homes, they're asking a lot more questions and negotiating harder and taking longer to commit. They haven't disappeared, they're just becoming more selective.
And that's an important message for sellers. This market is asking you to adjust your expectations. Not necessarily about price, but about the process. Your neighbour's result 6 weeks ago? Sorry, not a guarantee of what your home will achieve today, because buyers are making decisions in a very different market.
And the same applies with timing. We've got so used to home selling after the first open home, but today's buyers, they have more choice and they're taking longer to commit. So if your home doesn't sell after the first weekend, that doesn't automatically mean something is wrong. In many cases, it's simply reflecting the market we're in.
Look, selling is stressful enough without having to try navigating a changing market. That's why your choice of agent is more important than ever. Not because one of them can predict the future, but because they can interpret what's happening, adjusting the strategy and guiding you confidently throughout the process.
The best campaigns today aren't set in stone on day one. They evolve. Buyer feedback, inquiry levels, inspections and negotiations all help to shape the campaign. Sometimes momentum simply needs time to build. That's not changing the goal, it's responding to the market that's actually in front of you.
So please, don't let the national headlines make the decision for you. Look at your local market. Look at your own circumstances and make sure you've got the right people helping you navigate today's conditions, not yesterday's.
The market isn't crashing, it isn't booming, it's evolving.
100%.
Yeah.
And as it evolves, buyers, sellers and agents all have to evolve with it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching and we will see you next month.